Hello everyone, this is Mr. Informal. This is a new edition of the Mr. Informal Podcast. We are on the 45th edition of the Mr. Informal Podcast. I hope you have been enjoying listening to these podcasts as much as I do, because I basically report the current trends in fashion and technology, just like the theme of my blog. Check it out, mr.informal.com. You can even follow me in Instagram at Mr. Informal. That's MISTERINFORMAL. Just like how it's spelled, Mr. Informal at Instagram. Anyways, these are the three topics for today. Diesel or Diesel makes their own knockoff brand and setting up a pop-up shop in New York, fooling hundreds. Or did they? Second topic is Amazon. This is not new. We all knew this was coming. Amazon will create their new shipping services that will go against UPS, Post Office, and FedEx, and DHL. And the third and last topic, Viacom is setting up their own online streaming. That's going to be interesting. Now, I'm not just going to talk about Viacom. I'm also going to talk about other companies too, because apparently online streaming is the new thing. And so, let's get on with the Mr. Informal Podcast. So Diesel, one of the bigger companies out there that are getting knocked up by small companies, China or wherever they are, they have their own counter or knockoff brand, or should I say, Diesel created their own knockoff brand, set up a pop-up shop in New York, and fooled hundreds. Or did they? Well, not really, because what they did was to prove to the consumers that no matter what it is, if you like the style, not the label, forget about the label, forget about the brand, forget about the name. If you look at the style, if it has quality, if you like it, then you should buy it. And that was the point of Diesel's knockoff marketing. So instead of the normal Diesel spelling, DIESEL, they created DEISEL, Diesel. And basically they set it up. They got two guys, basically this is two salesperson, telling everybody that, hey, you should check this out. You know, I've been here. You know, it's $20. Do you like it? So and so. Anyway, to get the item off the shelves. And I get, if you know, you'll see. I'll put a link down below of the video, and you'll see some people second guessing it, actually making counter arguments, and basically doubting it. But at the same time, Diesel fooled them because they actually sold genuine Diesel products. All they did was change the label and change the name. And when the word got out, suddenly hundreds of people lined up. But the few that actually got there and didn't know what they were buying, well, you are very lucky. Absolutely very lucky that you were not hassled by the lines, by hundreds of people. You were just there, actually being seduced, or should I say, by the salesperson into buying those Diesel knockoff garments, and yet they were actually genuine. You see, this is the kind of thing that I like to see. In this experiment, I'm just gonna call it experiment, Diesel absolutely proves that it's not about the name, it's about the game. What kind of style you can show. And people tend to forget that a lot of these companies started out small. I mean, they were hungry at the time. They were motivated to prove that their product was top quality. And this is just one of those scenarios that proves that Diesel put a label thinking that the consumer would not buy it, and they were right. They were doubting it. And to prove that, all they did was change the label, and they proved that people were doubting it. And yet, when they bought it, I'm sure, and they probably heard the news by now, and I'm sure they were quite happy with their purchase. And I'm gonna let people know, no matter where you are, if you wear it, if you like it, and if you feel like it's top quality, it was made to last, then purchase it. Don't doubt the name. If you're gonna doubt something off the clothing, doubt the game, doubt the style. Oh, this doesn't fit. Oh, I don't like the style, I don't like the color. But don't doubt the name. I'm sure the name is just a name, it's just a brand. And so that's a lesson learned. Now, I have Amazon Prime membership. And I already knew this was coming because Amazon is shipping millions and millions of packages every month. Could be every day, could be every week. But Amazon has to finally decided to create their own shipping services that will go against the post office, FedEx, DHL, and UPS. They're gonna call it Amazon Shipping or Ship by Amazon, whichever. And they are starting in Los Angeles. So that's quite interesting. And what does this mean to us customers? Well, it's pretty good because we can track it better. We could actually call Amazon directly instead of Amazon relaying the message to FedEx or some other shipping carrier. It's all in one place, and when you call customer service, you don't have to call other shipping carrier. They can easily talk to you, and so it's integrated, vertically integrated. And what does it mean for other shipping carriers? Well, their stock might go down, that their business might go down, or do they really mind? I'm pretty sure that if you take out Amazon, they might be happy. At least there's not a lot of work, right? And especially UPS don't have to deliver your package at 8 p.m., which I don't understand why they keep shipping packages at 8 p.m. It's so stupid. But I don't really mind USPS. I always love my Amazon packages to be shipped by USPS because they have a lot of stations, and they actually ship you the item before 6 o'clock, even before 5 p.m., even before 4 p.m. And this is just at its early stages, and the structure is not there yet. I'm pretty sure they're probably creating Amazon lockers or Amazon retail section with lockers, and then you can have a warehouse full of packages, just like UPS. You know, you're gonna have a lot of stations, a lot of headquarters in every state, and so many places in the country. And will the problems of shipping be eliminated? No, I don't think so, because as long as humans are shipping it, there's always going to be problems. There's always going to be errors. You know, that's the thing about shipping, is that sometimes the machine scans it wrong and then placed on the wrong station, and then it's shipped to the wrong address, or maybe it went somewhere. I mean, we don't really know. So there's still a lot of errors that needs to be fixed. But for Amazon to put everything all in one place, well, you know they got to do that to make things easier and to make things efficient and convenient. So the last and third topic of this podcast. So Viacom, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, telecommunication and broadcasting company in the world, is going to set up an online streaming soon. Could it be in the summer, could it be in the fall, or could it be in winter? But I just want to bring that up because lately a lot of these companies are popping up out of nowhere, starting their own streaming brand. Whether it be, obviously HBO is already in it, Stars is already in it, so maybe Cinemax could probably be in it. We already know Hulu and Netflix are already in it. Amazon already has it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Walmart suddenly gets in it too. Heck, even Target. Probably AMC would get it. Sony, I would not be surprised if Sony. I'm not even sure. Does Sony even have one already? If they do, well, then there you go. Miramax. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, when will it stop? Now, I don't really have a problem of capitalism, making profits, but where do we stop and limit things because everybody are having their own streaming section? Basically, what Netflix is doing is they're having their original series basically becoming a channel. You know, if Netflix was a channel, that's the content that they would have. And same with HBO. They would have Game of Thrones, you know, Entourage, Silicon Valley, so on and on. And same with Hulu. Hulu will probably have their own original series. Amazon has their own original series. Everybody's becoming a channel now. But where are the movies? Suddenly movies are disappearing nowadays? Is that what it is? That we can't even stream movies anymore? Instead, we're having this movie pass. It's a ticket based, not an online streaming based, but a ticket based type of company where you only pay $10 per movie. That's pretty great, right? But I mean, there was a time when I was subscribed to Netflix and Netflix had movies out every month. Obviously, they were taking out movies, but suddenly they were taking out movies left and right, and they're just starting to focus on their original series, season series. You know, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, with Amazon doing their thing too. I mean, what can I say here? How many times? Basically, it's almost like now everybody have their own subscription now that you're almost paying like a cable. Instead of all in one package, you're paying different companies and you have a different login. I just don't understand how consumers not see this. That's why I'm bringing this up, because suddenly everything is no different from a cable box. I just want to make a correction. Sony does have their own online streaming, but it's more like a package streaming, I guess. But we're more interested in movies. What about movies? What about shows? If you combine movies and Hulu, that'd be great, right? But apparently movies licensing are so expensive that what Viacom and Sony's doing is they're streaming their own thing, because nobody wants to pay these licensing fees because it's so expensive. Now, instead of paying it, you might as well download or actually buy the 4K DVD Blu-ray and have some extras in it. But wouldn't that be nice if you could just stream that, just like how Netflix used to be? I mean, if you go to Amazon, you only get to see old movies. You don't get to see the latest movies that are out in DVD, and so it'd be nice. But it's interesting how everybody wants to be an online streaming game, and yet nobody wants to provide the service, customer service, the intuitive user interface, how easy it is to watch movies. I mean, that has to be in the forefront before you get into these streaming services type of offering to the consumers. And I wish that Amazon would have more recent movies, but they don't. Instead, they have the original series and old movies. Same thing with Netflix. I mean, I would love to see Thor Ragnarok in Netflix or even Amazon Prime movie or Prime Video, but you know, I won't be able to see that. And so Viacom is one of the largest, so I won't be surprised if they have a multitude of catalog of movies or even series. Don't be surprised because Viacom is a pretty large company. And so that basically concludes the Mr. Informal 45th 45 edition podcast. I hope you learned something today. I hope I brought some issues and I brought some clarity into the subjects in these current state of affairs that in the world that we're having. And I will see you in the next Mr. Informal podcast. Bye bye.